All right, hey, good morning. This is Noel, and welcome to another day. Yeah, got everybody fed and all that, and yeah. So I'm in John 13 today, which I think is pretty short. So we'll see. We may do two. Um, yeah, I'm just getting going for the day, so trying to wake up. Um, I know I said this in earlier videos, but like this isn't some professional Bible reading you stumble across. This just recording, my reading in the morning, in case my, you know, future grandkids or beyond want to see their, grandfather or great grandfather, whoever, uh, you know, just talk. So, uh, yeah, welcome to watch and listen. Um, but ain't nothing about this is the professional video making type stuff. Uh, I get up every morning, um, take care of the dogs, and then I get all them outside, then get them fed and back inside, and all that kind of mess. Uh, and then sit down to read before I start my full time job for the day. Um, so that's where we're at. uh, so here we go. Let's go into John 13. It was just before the Passover feast. Jesus knew that the time had come for him to leave this world and to go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he now showed them the full extent of his love. The evening meal was being served, and the devil had already prompted Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under his power and that he had come from God and was returning to God. So he got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that was wrapped around him. He came to Simon Peter, who said, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You do not realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand." "No," said Peter, "you shall never wash my feet." Jesus answered, "Unless I wash you, you have no part with me." Then then Lord, Simon Peter replied, "Not just my feet, but my hands and my head as well." Jesus answered, "A person who has had a bath only needs, a bath needs only to wash his feet. His whole body is clean, and you are clean, though not every one of you." For he knew who was going to betray him, and that was why he said not everyone was clean. When he finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes and returned to his place. Do you understand what I have done for you? He asked them. You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for that is what I am. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you. I tell you the truth, no servant is greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than one who sent him. Now that you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them. I'm not referring to all of you. I know those I have chosen, but this is to fulfill the scripture. He who snares my bread, gosh, not snares. He who shares my bread has lifted up his heel against me. I tell you, I'm telling you now before it happens, so that when it does happen to you, oh gosh, sorry, so that when it does happen, you will believe that I am He. I tell you the truth. Whoever accepts anyone I send accepts me, and whoever accepts me accepts the one who sent me. After he had said this, no, you're okay. It's just, it's honey. Honey's outside with Stella, and Honey can open the screen door. That's, the outside screen door. And so if the main door is not fully shut or open where she can push it open, then she can actually open the screen door and come right in. So she's opening the screen door out there, and it's bouncing, trying to get in or see if the other door's open. Out of all my dogs, she's the only one that can open the door and come in. It's pretty wild. Okay. Um, okay. After he had said this, Jesus was troubled in spirit and testified, I tell you the truth. One of you is going to betray me. His disciples stared at one another, at a loss to know which one of them he meant. One of them, the disciple whom Jesus loved, was reclining next to him. Simon Peter mentioned to his disciple, or to this disciple, and said, ask him which one he means. Leaning back against Jesus, he asked him, Lord, who is it? Jesus answered, it is the one to whom I will give this piece of bread when I have dipped it in the dish. Then, dipping the piece of bread, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, son of Simon. As soon as Judas took the bread, Satan entered him. What are you about to do? Or what you were about to do quickly. Jesus told him, but no one at the meal understood why Jesus said this to him. Since Judas had charge of the money, some thought Jesus was telling him to buy what was needed for the feast or give something to the poor. As soon as Judas had taken the bread, he went out, and it was night. When he was gone, Jesus said, "Now is the Son of Man glorified, and and God is glorified in him. If God is glorified in him, God will glorify the Son in himself, and will glorify him at once. My children, I will be with you only a little longer. You will look for me, and just as I told the Jews, so I tell you now, where I am going, you cannot come. A new command I give you: love one another as I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, all men will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." Simon Peter asked him, "Lord, where are you going?" Jesus replied, "Where I am going, you cannot follow now, but you will follow later." Peter asked, "Lord, why can't I follow you now? I will lay down my life for you." Jesus answered, "Will you really lay down your life for me? I tell you the truth. Before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times." Hmm. You know what? Let's stop there, and then I'll do a couple of super short ones tomorrow. Um, you know, this is pretty interesting. So you got Judas Iscariot, actual real life physical disciple of Jesus for like 3 years at this point. And where's it at? In 1327, this guy who's been following Jesus for 3 years, not following Jesus, his disciple. So like traveling with him, living with him, all the stuff. And 27 it says, as soon as Judas took the bread, Satan entered him. Well, man, if that can, happen with a guy who's literally, physically been with Jesus for 3 years, seen all the stuff. You know what I mean? The miracles and the teaching and just all the stuff. Like I don't know. That's pretty wild. Um, and really like another point that and I don't know. You know what I mean? Like the theology of this. I know that there's people that study these kinds of things and know the theology and the all this stuff. Um, just on the you know human ignorant level, uh, if he was, a disciple of Jesus for 3 years, and then, this happened. Like, you know, seems like we should also pay attention. I guess, like, um, like, is this still going on, kind of thing? You know what I mean? Uh, and, and maybe not to the extent of Judas's sin here, of course, but there's, I don't know. I've just heard all kinds of like things over time, like uh, you know, a Christian's, a Christian can't be, possessed, or a Christian can't be this or that, or Christian may be oppressed by the devil, but not be like all this crap, and I don't know. I mean, that seems like a pretty clear thing. This guy following Jesus, living with Jesus for 3 years, and all this stuff, and then and I'm sure there's people that are going to say like, well, he never truly believed Jesus was little and all this stuff. It's like, maybe, but I mean, the stuff that Judas saw from Jesus, like like I said in the last chapter, even like some of the Pharisee or teachers of the law or church leaders or whatever were believing in Jesus, but were like afraid to say anything because they wouldn't want to get kicked out of the synagogue by the Pharisees. Like, so like, even those folks were starting to believe in Jesus. So this guy who's been with him for 3 years, hmm, I don't know. It's just, I have no, yeah, it's just interesting. And uh, yeah, uh, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Yeah, pretty much just have quite a bit of Jesus teaching the next couple of days, so that's cool. I don't know why churches don't spend the majority of their time in the Gospels under Jesus's teachings. Um, it doesn't make any sense to me. Um, you know, uh, I understand the importance of the rest of the New Testament. So it's not like saying anything about that, but it's just uh, you know, like most often seems like, I don't know. It's easier to teach from Paul or James or whoever, um, instead of from Jesus. I think it's because this is just my assumption. I have no idea, but I think it's because Jesus's words are uh, offensive, to sinners, not warm and fuzzy all the time, and and just like the Pharisees and the teachers of the law in the synagogue. The modern church, uh, either the modern church pastor is not like courageous enough to teach that, or the modern church congregation isn't mature enough to even receive the truth from Jesus' own words, and you know realize that their offense is coming from the offense they're feeling is coming from their own sin and their own our own lack of actual truth. uh, it's kind of a sad deal. uh, I know, like I've said before, I know there's churches out there that do teach really well and all that kind of stuff. um, the only time that I've really been in places like that, uh, or I should say, I've only been in places like that a few times. Uh, but I've found some online that a couple of pastors anyway that I really like that um, I don't know, aren't afraid to teach the truth and you know all that stuff. And it's funny because the churches that I see online anyway that aren't afraid to stand up for the truth, aren't afraid to teach, from Jesus, teaching the, truths that Jesus was teaching, all this stuff, even truths from the whole Bible that modern church or modern society would find offensive. The churches online that I see, a couple, few that aren't afraid to teach that are like large. Like I think people crave, the actual truth, and like I say, most of the time, it feels like at least the churches I've experienced more, yeah, more recently in life. Um, it's more of a Sunday motivational speech than uh, you know, teaching scripture and application of scripture and that kind of thing. Okay, well, apparently it's time for me to start work because that's what that dinging is. Uh, Folks already sending me messages to help with something. I have no idea. So, um, yeah, that's all I got for today, I guess. And hopefully be back tomorrow. Um, yeah, hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you later. All right.